Now, before I start the Trackhawk review, this vehicle has been provided to me by Tri Industries, a local non-for-profit organization whose mission is to employ people with severe disabilities, including disabled veterans. Now, my dad is a disabled veteran, so their whole mantra connects with me. The second thing is they're car enthusiasts, and they've had to try to think out of the box on how to generate revenue for their business. And they're purchasing vehicles like the Trackhawk that you're watching now, or the Dodge Demon that's coming up, in hopes to generate some revenue from raffle tickets or just donations to their cause. And in turn, I make some car videos that we all enjoy, and they get to help the people that are working for them.
The things that people first notice when visiting Tri Industries is the uniqueness of our workforce and their work ethic.
Tri is a nonprofit organization, but it's really important to understand that we're run as a social enterprise. And that means that we're run exactly like a business. Sales, production, marketing, it's all the same. And the funds that come from that are used to employ people with significant disabilities.
It's just that, you know, there's people that advertise that they'll hire people with disabilities. And they're, you know, it's been on the news, on the radio, TV, but Tri Industries is really doing that.
Your support of Tri Industries is not just about creating jobs. It's about creating hope. It's about creating new opportunities and new directions. And it's about giving people a place to go where they know they fit in and they know they're wanted.
Now, if you're watching this, you could probably care less about the interior or the exterior of the Trackhawk because this Jeep Grand Cherokee has been out since the dawn of man. You've seen it a million times. But Tri Industries has spec'd this out to your delight. You have carbon fiber accents that run all the way across the doors, the center dash area, and then, you know, other little touches of it. And you know what? It's pretty cool because it's got just the right amount of bling, the right amount of reflection, and it's not too annoying. Now, you do have FCA's beautiful plastichrome trim that just adorns all the vents right around the center stack area. I mean, it just looks great in bright light, too. I mean, it just reflects that light right in your eyes the way that you'd like. Now, in terms of seating comfort, the front's not too bad, and these seats are brand new. And honestly, I think they're gonna take some breaking in with some real weight. If you get in the back seats, they are like bricks. It's totally uncomfortable back there again, but I think you really have to break this in. For the most part, the stitching, the contrasting stitching, and most of the leather surfaces, including this headliner, are pretty nice. You know, joking aside, this is one of the nicer Grand Cherokee interiors you're gonna find. Now, the biggest change is in the gauge cluster. Now, much like the SRT Jeep and of course the SRT Durango, you have all these performance meters. Now, you cycle through the menu kind of up and down. It tells you kind of the Trackhawk timers, so you can test your acceleration 0 to 60, 0 to 100. I mean, it's a great gimmick if you just want to screw around and you're bored waiting for one of your bros to go out to the club. It does have a multitude of gauges, and this is one thing I really like. It's already part of the ECU. The ECU has all these sensors. It's already in the CAN bus. You don't need an external tool to see your oil temperature, your oil pressures, your oil life, and all the other things like intake air temperature charge. It just tells you everything you want to know from a performance perspective that most vehicles don't do. Now, in terms of drive modes, you have track, sport, auto, snow, and tow. And you can kind of customize in the performance pages how you want the transmission behavior to react, if you want to kind of in race or sport mode. You know, and obviously each one of these modes affect the all-wheel drive system. That's kind of the point of the Trackhawk. With all-wheel drive, you have a lot more flexibility of sending the power to the back, sending the power to the front. You know, like tow mode, or snow mode rather, you're going to go in a 50-50 split. In track mode, you're going to go pretty much 90% to the rear to give you that more rear wheel bias. Now, there are some other buttons on the center console for your safety systems, and they even have an economy button, which is just ridiculous. But for the most part, everything's very logically laid out. All right, let's turn this bad boy off because 13 miles per gallon isn't my thing. Oh, look, a manual parking brake on the floor. How cute. Let's stop talking about this. Let's get into the shop, look at some of the technical aspects, and go for a drive, because that's all anybody cares about with this thing anyway. dear Lord, you made it for a premium FCA vehicle.
All of them are premium when it's FCA.
Yeah, that's true, but this is one of the most premium ever made. A Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk.
Grand Cherokee.
Grand Cherokee, I'm sorry.
Supercharged.
How'd you know that?
I saw it on, it's stamped on the side.
Oh, that's the only tip off. So this really started as a Mercedes platform or architecture, and it has been updated since.
But what Mercedes?
The ML. Yeah.
That's best in class. Every time one of those pulls up, I'm just like, no.
Well, this is the WK2, which has been updated, and I think it was updated around 2011 or 12, something like that. And now what they've done is they have mutilated this by putting in the biggest engine, transmission, all-wheel drive setup. I don't know what more you could do to a Grand Cherokee, but they've done it, and this thing is unbelievably stupid and silly to drive.
You're definitely going to get a ticket in this thing.
Yeah. It does a great job for street driving. The pad combination and the rotor combination is unbelievable.
I think it's as big as my shoe.
It is bigger than your shoe. And you're what, a size 20? That's 20 centimeters. No, yeah, they're crazy. You're not going to have any problem with these on the street. Your lower control arms are massive hunks of aluminum. The knuckle design to the upright to the upper A-arm is all aluminum. The A-arm is not. The upper A-arm is not aluminum, but this is your traditional double wishbone suspension.
Even has camber adjustment for you.
Yeah, Scott noticed that it has slotted holes in the control arms.
Probably does camber and caster, I would imagine, the way it moves. But.
Yeah, and the back is the same. You can adjust camber and caster.
The camber and tow.
Camber, I'm sorry.
Camber just caster in the back.
Camber and
maybe on an all-wheel steer car.
No, it's just they just didn't want to redesign the back, so they just put the front suspension on the back. No, so yeah, camber and tow in the back, and of course we have a nice set of adjustable dampers in the front, Scott.
Bilstein.
Yep.
That's one thing they never did back in the day was put the Viper engine in a Cherokee. They did it in a Ram.
What Ram was that?
I don't know. One of the Rams had the V10 in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That thing couldn't tow, though, could it?
I don't think it could do anything.
Let's talk about some other aspects. You're going to notice
Chrome oil pan?
Chrome oil pan. Oh, well, it does not chrome. That's a matte finish. They've polished.
Stainless steel like my refrigerator.
Yeah. You have a modified, this is very much like the SRT Jeep's setup. The transmission is the 8-speed torque flight. Things have been reinforced here for the transmission. It has an on-demand all-wheel drive setup with an electronic limited slip differential in the rear.
Can you change power front to rear, or is it always variable?
It's variable based on your drive modes. So if you want the best, most rear-wheel drive performance, you switch over to race mode, and then it just tapers down. Sport is a little less, and and then there's a 50-50 split for like whatever it is.
That's just silly to put race mode, but
the suspension, these adjustable Bilsteins, it kind of goes from firm to hard. There's not really a soft setting, so it's more suitable for the track, and it's really good. This would be more of a drag. I think you'd have more fun at a drag strip with this than on a racetrack.
it would still be fun to do it just to do it.
Yeah.
Or like when you're one of the HPDE instructors,
Right,
like,
yeah.
yo, take all the badges off. Yo, bro, I'll show you the track.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of amazing. I mean, just to screw around with people, that would be the fun part.
Well, and the other thing too is this has a 7,500 pound towing capacity. So you could legitimately use this to trailer a smaller race car. And you could use this for lapping. If you just wanted to screw around, you could legitimately just take it as is and burn around a track for some like recon laps.
Yeah, well,
So-
I mean, if you had it, you have to do it at
Right.
least once.
Yeah. So that is good. So the electronic limited slip differential in the back, obviously, as the name implies, it's able to control the amount of slippage and disengagement of the clutches based on your drive modes and all the various sensors of the car. And it does an extremely good job of putting the power down. This is not something that you're ever going to wonder, am I going to have traction?
It's not going to be 3 seconds late.
No, it's not 3 seconds late to the game. It just always has traction.
It's connected Google Fiber, not dial-up.
Yeah,
not
it's on
56K.
Google. Yeah, it's on fiber optics instead of 56K. Yeah, the response is immediate. It's mechanical. The other thing to note about it is, just like the brake pads, this has 3-season tires on it. The control arms are aluminum. Your knuckle is cast steel. But I mean, there's a lot of heft in this car in the back end. And this is why people like Cherokees. They've always really liked these because they are pretty capable.
They are pretty good for what they are.
What other SUVs kind of like real? I know this isn't body on frame, but you know, this is pretty hardcore. The Grand Cherokees have always been pretty hardcore without having to go up to like, you know, stupid levels.
I agree.
SRT. What is
Tough. Street racing technologies.
You know what are the big complaints about this Hellcat Jeep or Trackhawk is? There's not enough branding on the outside.
Well, they should just put this character all over it. I mean, screw the names and letters and all that crap. I mean, just put that. That's enough.
Yeah, agreed. And it's get rid of the only thing that tips it off is the supercharged logo on the side, which looks so cheap. It's like so tacked on.
Get rid of emblems. I mean, keep whatever. I mean, obviously, wherever the hell Jeep is on the hood,
the branding.
Keep that, but just put this pissed off
looking
monkey on the side of the car.
Yeah, put the monkey with teeth on the side.
I mean, that would look so much cooler.
It would. And the cheesy ass Trackhawk logo on the back that looks
That's
like Trailhawk.
horrible.
It's like Kmart.
It looks like Chrysler 200 or something.
Yeah. Did you just see they're gonna do the Red Eye or whatever the hell it's called? Hellcat?
What the hell is that?
It's a new Hellcat with the cat as a red eye.
Oh.
And it's got 100 more horsepower.
So isn't that the Demon?
No, the Demon's still the top of the line drag car, but the Red Eye is more like the Hellcat with more horsepower. So it's more track friendly and less of a drag car.
They should, instead of making a drag car, or you just said it's more of a track car, they should lose the supercharger, take some weight off of it, and make something that's going to beat the GT350R or the ZL1 1LE around the track. Because it's never going to happen in its current condition.
I don't think they even care about that.
No, they don't.
No,
but
it would be interesting to them to see them try it, but I don't know that they have the kind of money to develop that. I think what money they do have is very focused on this type of stuff, and they're like, we're not going to do it. How much money would it really cost them to trim down, like the Charger architecture that's ancient? They would have to they would have to use the Alpha, the Giulia chassis, or the derivative of that to do it, and I don't think they're ready to try it. But I mean, you know, like you said, it's true. This is going to be dead sooner or later, so we might as well enjoy it now.
Like, this is how we die?
Not yet.
Not in this thing.
No, this thing's premium. So we're in the Trackhawk. This is a vehicle that stickers for around somewhere near 100,000.
And they're going for almost $25,000 over that.
Yes. And, you know, we've driven this to do a lot of filming and to get adjusted to it. And there's a few things to say about it. And mostly it is absolutely and utterly ridiculous.
I mean, it's a hilarious car.
Yeah.
And you just got finished driving it, Carol. What did you think?
Oh, it was great. It's the ideal soccer mom car. You'll never have your kids late for anything except that you're gonna get a speeding ticket. So, details.
Yeah, the little details of it, or you'll probably be late because you're at the gas pump filling this thing up. And I think that's the biggest downfall, really. If there is a downfall of this, it's the fact that you're gonna get 13 miles to the gallon.
Though, if you wanted to make your kids throw up the most amount of Chuck E. Cheese possible, this is the ideal vehicle.
Yeah, and I think this is the perfect vehicle for when you obviously can haul a bunch of people, but when you load this thing up full of these little bastards that won't shut up, and you're trying to enjoy your car, and they start jibber jabbering, all you have to do is basically this. And then they're gonna eat, well, probably not scared. Little kids probably would like this. And then they'd scream even louder. And then, yeah, so I think it is just one of the most fun it's basically the best SUV ever in terms of speed and performance, but it's also got that fun factor I don't think I've had in quite a long time.
Yeah, if Carol decided to buy you a Shell station, you should get on that. This would be the perfect automobile if you owned a gas station.
Yeah, you're going to need to own more than a gas station. You probably need to own an oil company. No, we drove this when we had the McLaren 570S, and you know, everybody that gets in this thing says the same thing. It's like one of the fastest things they've ever been in.
We, on a closed course...
you mean a public road?
Yeah, same thing, really. On a closed course, we raced... we
street raced the McLaren in this, just for the hell of it. Because, you know, I think that was the first thing I said, is this is faster.
It was for science.
Yeah, it was for science.
Obviously.
This is faster than the McLaren 570S, and I'd say that this is going to annihilate anything from a street start. And this is one of my pet peeves. People are like, well, what's the 0 to 60 time? And then you get these magazines that go on a prep surface. They do a 5,000 RPM launch that nobody's ever going to do. And
I think Car and Driver Motor Trend talked about launching a WRX, and they're like, yeah, you got to rev it up to 6,500 RPM and dump the clutch. Yeah. You do that all the time, though. Whenever, everywhere.
I've never done that, and I even don't do it on press cars, honestly, because it's just so stupid. This, literally, all you have to do is come to a stop and hit the gas, and you're going to annihilate anything without having to use launch control, without having to sit there and, what are my tire pressures? Did I change my underwear today? No, this thing's fast all the time, and it's just amazingly fun.
No, it's the reason you buy this over... you know, an X5M or even a Cayenne, I've been in both of those vehicles, there's not a sense of fun to them. They're very serious. They're, look at me and my net worth. I'm in a $120,000 SUV. I never smile. I don't laugh. I just check my Twitter account.
Well, let's come to a stop and test that fun theory. Oh my God, this thing got some air, bro. Wow. All right. Jesus. The balls, have you ever got hit in the face with a ball before?
Just yours.
Well, now you have. So here's the thing about this. This car is insanely fast to about 90 miles an hour.
No, it's got to be one of the fastest cars I've ever driven, from 0 to 90-ish. Yeah, because we never go past the speed limit, though.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where it falls off, and I don't care what you say. Yes, it's supercar fast to like 90 or 80, 90. There's a steep decline in acceleration after that. Aerodynamics, weight, it catches up with it. So this is the ultimate street car. If you're never going to be on the track,
it's perfect.
It's perfect. But if you do take it on the track, take a look at this. Let's talk about the final things about it. And I think if you drive this on the track, you're going to realize, of course, they've called it Trackhawk, so you have to put it on the track.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
My main thing was, if you drive it on a real, like a road course like Road America, you will be lucky to last 3 laps before your brakes just completely disappear.
This thing, I mean, this is like basically driving a barn door.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, a barn down a racetrack. That being said, and you can agree with this, there's nothing more satisfying than running down a supposedly faster car in a building.
Yeah, but you have to do it in the first lap.
Oh.
And these brakes are monstrous, but they do fade super quick. I'd be curious to see how they do on a set of track pads, but I don't know. It's funny because I drove the SRT Jeep, and this feels very, very much the same in terms of suspension setup, all of that on the track. It's just a little bit faster in a straight line. In terms of all the suspension settings, this does, even in auto mode or like the eco mode.
It does not ride well.
It's very firm, and we saw that in the winter when we drove this. When you get out and you get any broken pavement, this is a way more firm ride than you would expect. It's on the top end of sport, and then when you put it in track mode or sport mode, it's like you're bumping around. So if you're looking or you're wondering how the ride quality is, you're going to sacrifice it in this thing.
So it's so practical.
It's not practical at all. It really isn't. I mean, once you get over the fact that it's ridiculously fast,
Well, the back seats suck.
it just, yeah.
I'm sitting on like an ironing board right now.
Right, and I think once you,
Are you saying SRT premium Napa leather isn't everything you wanted and more in a luxury vehicle?
that novelty wears off pretty quick. Honestly, I don't know that it wears off quickly, but when you strip away the engine, and the transmission is amazing in here, namely when you take manual control of it. I mean, the downshifts, I'll put it in track mode here so you can kind of hear this. The transmission is one of the best automatics you're going to find. So, you know, the drivetrain is why you buy this, but when you strip all that away, it's just a Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
It's a $100,000 Jeep, and that's what I can't get over. I don't know. I think I'd rather spend 55 grand on a Hellcat and then just get like a friggin' Ford EcoSport or a Chevy Trax and really experience
I know how you feel
life.
about the Trax.
No,
You gonna get the Redline edition?
The Redline edition with the black wheels and tires. I don't know. Let's just take a look at the final thoughts.
All right.
Final thoughts on the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Now you'll notice the tone of this video is different than my other reviews that deal with a pure sports car or something with a high level of pedigree. This is an SUV. It's an SUV that dumbfounds all the passengers that get into it. It creates this level of joy for them when you constantly put your foot to the floor. It's an unreal experience for the driver the first time you mash the gas, and it turns into a straight up amusement park ride when you enable launch control. It's going to annihilate 99% of other cars on the road from 0 to 80 miles an hour. It is that fast. And that's why you are paying such an exorbitant amount of money for this thing. 86 grand base. $100,000 with the way that this thing's spec'd out, because you're paying extra for premium leather, premium audio system, a panoramic sunroof, different wheels and tires, 3-season tires, mind you. It's crazy. And then you have dealers, of course, marking it up to about $120,000. And I'm sorry, you want to talk about negatives? That's a deal breaker for me, because when you get in this thing, it feels like a $45,000 Jeep. And you are paying all that extra money for the privilege to have one of the fastest SUVs in the world. And if you have that kind of money, and that's what's important to you, you're gonna love this thing. But for me, I would rather just take a Hellcat and then buy a straight up, regular SUV to supplement that. You get a lot of the same experience. But if you're looking for that one car or one Jeep or whatever it is that does it all, this is pretty close. Now, the best thing is you can still potentially win this thing. It is a fundraiser vehicle. So you like it, you just want to throw 20 bucks at it. That's what I would do personally. I could win it and enjoy it that way without going broke. So if you're interested in winning it, check out the link here. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you next time. The only other thing you're going to notice here, Scott, is you're a real fan of this oil pan.
Oh, that's amazing.
Why?
I'm gonna when the first one comes in, I'm gonna strip that, pull those threads right out, so we have to replace the oil pan, and I'm gonna hang it on my wall. It says SRT, and it's got whatever the character is next to it. What is the character?
Is it Mickey Mouse?
I don't know. It's like a viper, or what the hell is the thing?
The SRT thing? Isn't it like some type of...
Is that a demon? I don't know.
No, it's like a tiger or something.
Not a tiger.
Cat? It's like some type of feline, isn't it?
Oh, bro, my torch has been on the whole time. It's like a
dragon.
I don't know what the
f
he's supposed to be.
You got to be a FCA or a
Mopar
fanboy. You tell us what the character is, and do you dress up?
It kind of looks like the Flying Lizard logo.
I don't think it's the Flying Lizard.
I know, but it looks similar to the...
I think they just take the Viper logo and then just add some teeth to the different ones.
Yeah, it's probably what it is. Exactly.